Flip My Florida Yard is brought to you by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Protecting Florida's environment starts with you. What you do in your yard can have an impact on the health of our environment and water resources.
Welcome to Flip My Florida Yard. On today's episode, we head to Daytona Beach. It's here we meet a busy family who wants to rejuvenate their front yard while keeping it low maintenance.
It used to be one of the best yards in the neighborhood. It needs work, a lot of work.
We show you ways to have a both beautiful and low maintenance landscape.
They know they wanted a Florida-friendly landscape that is low maintenance.
Okay. We'll show you how to save water with a temporary irrigation system.
This is just going to be a really easy way for them to get these plants established.
And then it's Container Garden 101.
You can make your own place look like the theme parks by planting your own mixed container gardens.
And if flipping a yard in 8 hours wasn't hard enough, try doing it in Florida's unpredictable weather. Okay, so it just started raining. We show you ways to manage pests in your yard.
A bat box is actually a home for bats. It allows them to do their job and just manage the yard pests within our landscapes.
There we go. And then it's time for the family to meet their new Florida-friendly landscape. You remove your glasses. All this and more on Flip My Florida Yard. We're knocking on doors.
So excited.
And flipping yards into beautiful Florida-friendly landscapes, and all in 8 hours.
Is this really happening?
Who's ready?
Organized chaos.
Experts show us how to use Florida-friendly landscaping principles.
Putting the right plant in the right place.
Water efficiently. Very low maintenance.
Fertilize appropriately.
All leading up to a dramatic reveal.
The best surprise of our whole life.
We're here in beautiful Daytona Beach, and we're ready to flip a yard. You ready to flip a yard?
Yes, I am.
Man says, yes, I am. Let's do it. Come on, come on. Let's go meet the Vickers family. Hey, come on out here, guys. Johnny, how you doing?
I'm doing all right and yourself.
Gather your family, and let's walk this way.
We are the Vickers family.
My name is Johnny. This is my wife, Angelina, and we have 4 children.
What do you think this yard needs?
Neatness.
This is originally my grandparents' home. My grandmother used to upkeep the yard and whatnot, so I'm doing this really out of honor for them. I would love to see this yard restored to its former glory. Go ahead and tell them about the yard. Be honest. I know you want to.
The yard, in my opinion, is trash. The grass has more sand in it than actual grass, more bugs in it than actual grass.
I have weeds outgrowing my shrubs and my children.
The bushes make it really difficult for us to get into the front door, which is actually why we primarily don't use it.
What I need more than anything is low maintenance. This yard requires more time than what we are able to give.
What I would like most is a place for our family to be able to spend time together.
Yards are a great place for gathering, for fellowship. If you live in Florida, you have to have a yard. Am I nervous about what they're gonna do? What are you gonna do, make it look worse? Absolutely not. Bring it on.
Please flip our Florida yard.
Josephine, what do you think about all this?
My parents would be so happy. This is their house, and they would be so happy.
We're going to make you proud today. We're going to work hard all day long. What's the one thing you're looking forward to today, Johnny?
To the reveal.
To the reveal. Yeah. We got to get there. We got to work in your yard first. Before you guys leave, I want to introduce you to your flip crew. This is your flip crew. Yeah! So you guys ready?
Yeah!
To the car. Let's go, 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 go. All right. You guys know where you're going? Gamble Rogers State Park. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye, guys. Bye, Mom. Bye, kids. Have a good time at the state park.
Bye.
All right, the Vickers family just left. You know what that means? We have 8 hours to flip this Florida yard. You guys ready? Yeah! All right, Jen's got our plan. All we need is good weather. Ready, and go. Go, 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 go. I want to give you some perspective here on the Vickers house. Pretty good sized front yard. One of the main issues we're dealing with is this dwarf Yupon holly here. It is mature and it's grown. The Vickers have had a hard time managing this just to get in their front door. You know, it's nice and snug right here. All this is gonna come out. That's the name of the game for this flip, is we wanna give the Vickers family a low maintenance landscape. So all the plants, everything we're installing is gonna just be just that, low maintenance. Johnny, our homeowner, came out here and tried to remove this on his own, and he quickly realized, he said, I need professional help, and that's what he's got here. We're gonna get this stuff out of the ground really quick with this machine. This place looks a mess right now. We're in demo mode. All this is coming out, and when we're done, it's gonna look amazing. Leading today's flip is landscape designer Jen Marvin. First of all, what a great family.
They're wonderful. They are a multi-generational family. They live in a older house that has been in the family for quite a long time. Life kind of came and kept them from keeping the house up to the maintenance up to date.
What are some of the things they wanted to see come out of this design?
They know they wanted a Florida-friendly landscape that is low maintenance.
Okay, don't we all?
Yes, we all do.
Yeah. What are some of the design features going in today's yard?
Well, first up, I decided to do 2 big beds in the landscape.
Jen's design calls for reducing the amount of turf by installing 2 large flower beds in the front yard. We'll be installing over 1,500 square feet of drought-tolerant Bahia grass.
I chose to plant very carefully so that I knew they would be low maintenance and pretty much bulletproof.
So 2 big flower beds going in the front yard here. What's another design feature?
We are putting a bat house in, and then we're also putting in a compost bin.
We'll be installing a bat house to help manage mosquitoes and other pests in the landscape, and putting in a compost bin for the family to recycle yard waste. Bat house, composting bin, any other design features?
Well, we're doing a seating area.
And lastly, a seating area for Grandma to enjoy their new Florida-friendly landscape. We've got a lot to do.
We do.
Right?
Yes, we do.
But we'll
get it done.
We're gonna get it done. We've never had one of these on the show. This is a soil cultivator, and really they're taking all that grass, which is essentially nutrients, and mixing it into the soil, keeping that nutrients right here on site. Typically, we would cut the grass and haul it off, but we're keeping it right here, and we're doing that with this really cool machine. I want to drive it. Hey, Mom.
There ain't no way.
No?
Come on now.
Denied. Volusia County Extension Agent Brittany Morton talks about answering questions homeowners have about their landscaping.
So an extension agent is basically an outreach educator for the university. We are an extension of the University of Florida, and we deliver research-based information to clientele.
And this is a free service to people who live here in the county. They can come. And what's a common thing you get when people walk in the door?
Typically, when people walk in the door, it's like, oh my God, I didn't know this was here. But a lot of things that we get in is people are bringing in different plant samples, or they want to know what's going on with their grass and their lawn. So they come to the extension office, and we provide a lot of different answers to help them with different solutions.
Landscape therapy.
Yes, landscape therapy.
Help me out here. Something's broke. Help me fix it. Well, let's talk about this landscape today. What are some of the principles that we're going to feature here today?
So with Florida-friendly landscaping, there are 9 principles for low-maintenance practices. Today we're going to feature 3. We're going to talk about right plant, right place, and basically that's the bulk of the foundation. So if it's a full sun plant, don't put it in full shade. Think about how wide the plant is going to get and also how tall it's going to get. We're also going to cover fertilizing appropriately, so you want to make sure that you are applying the right fertilizers at the right time so that the plant is able to uptake all the nutrients. And then we're going to talk about managing yard pests. So that consists of scouting, checking your plants, looking at your leaves, trying to make sure you know what's going on beforehand so you can best take care of it.
This family wanted a Florida-friendly, low-maintenance landscape. I mean, are we going to give that to them today?
That's our goal. That's what we're here for.
Are you going to help?
Well, you know, yes, of course, of course. I'm definitely going to help and get in there and get the job done.
All right, well, thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.
Here in the state of Florida, one of the causes of water pollution is excess nutrients coming off our yards.
Nutrient pollution is really a big problem for us in Florida.
Mary Lusk from the University of Florida shares some tips every homeowner can use to reduce nutrient pollutants coming off our yards.
Nutrients are primarily nitrogen and phosphorus. They can be fertilizer that helps our plants grow, but they can also be fertilizer that helps algae grow when they're in water. They're the perfect example of sometimes too much of a good thing. In my lab, we study nutrient pollution and stormwater runoff and rainfall. We are primarily analyzing for nitrogen and phosphorus, again, those nutrients that are so important for preventing our harmful algal blooms in our Florida water. So once we know better where it's coming from, then we can make recommendations for how to manage that, right? So if we can say, you know what, in this neighborhood, we're seeing a lot of pet waste contributions, then we can talk to people about that. And there are lots of things homeowners can do. We can focus on keeping rainwater so that it can infiltrate the soil. And it's so simple to take that downspout and just turn it so that the water is directed to grass or garden instead, and that will really help a lot. You know, also things like pick up after your pets, sweeping up grass clippings and leaf litter off the streets. It's a much better thing to do than let them go down the streets and become part of stormwater runoff. Needing that clean water is just essential for us in this state. If you love Florida, you've got to love water because it's such an important part of who we are here.
So Brittany, we're on the side of the Vickers house here, and we're gonna install a bat box. Florida-friendly landscaping principle number 6 is manage yard pests responsibly. One way to do that is to install a bat box. For those of us who don't know, what is a bat box?
So a bat box is actually a home for bats. It's a great place for them to be safe and avoid predators throughout the evening. And it also allows them to do their job and just manage the yard pests within our landscapes.
Attracting bats to the house, like that sounds a little weird.
Bats can typically eat up to 1,000 insects per night. So that is a free pest management company that you do not have to pay for. And the homeowner is actually gonna be able to enjoy that here.
So we're gonna put this on the house up there.
Okay.
And I guess you're gonna kind of show me where it should go.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. Just make sure you don't install your bat box in a tree because it will attract predators. You holding that ladder, right, Brittany?
Yes.
How we looking here, Brittany?
All right, that's actually good. Let's move it to the right some so we can get it centered.
There we go. All right, Britt, what do you think?
I like it, I like it.
Bad, right? How long do you think it'll take for some bats to move in?
So really, it can take a couple of months. That way everyone can get acclimated to the space because they really have to find it. And something like this can typically hold about a few dozen bats in there.
All right, good job. All right, we're looking good. We've replaced the failing grass and plants are going in the ground. Oh, and it's only noon. What could go wrong? Okay, so it just started raining. While we stay dry, let's check in on the Vickers at Gamble Rogers State Park. See if it's raining there.
Today we are at Gamble Rogers Memorial State Recreation Area, and we're excited to be hosting the Vickers family. Welcome to Gamble Rogers. Are you folks ready to take a hike on our nature trail?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
One of the things that we got a chance to do here was go on a nature walk and see the butterfly garden.
This is awesome. And we got the opportunity to go fishing as a family for the first time, which is something we've always wanted to do.
Let go.
Yay! We love it here. I mean, there seems to be so much to do.
Hi.
The Vickers family is here. Are you learning?
Yes. A lot of what we do is connected to our environment, and we just want to make sure that we're doing our part.
I don't think I'm really nervous about the reveal. I think I'm more excited to see what is happening right now.
All right, grab your umbrellas. Let's get back to the flip. You know, we don't get to do this a lot, but when we do, it's fun. That's just put in a big old cabbage palm like this. And you really got to know what you're doing with this thing. A tree so heavy, if he tips it too far forward, that bobcat will tilt up. So he's definitely knows what he's doing. Well, this is important. You know, all this back and forth is to make sure this thing is planted at the right depth. Extension agent Brittany Council gives us some pointers when picking plants from a nursery.
One thing I have to tell people is you want to make sure you make your plant checklist before you go to the store. So don't just go to the store and want to buy the first thing you see.
Yeah.
Utilize our plant guides, and that way you can really check out what plants that you really want and what's going to work in your landscape so you can pick the right plants.
Great advice. Go in with a plan.
Yes.
What do we have right here?
So right here we have an Indian hawthorn. It's a wonderful low-maintenance plant. Since we're not going to be installing or have irrigation set up in the landscape, we want to make sure we had something that can withstand the elements and be a low-maintenance plant for the homeowners as well.
Nice blooms on it. Does it bloom year-round?
So it's going to bloom the most during the spring. It's going to bloom some during the summer as well, but it's a great pollinator plant. They really enjoy it.
Getting back to low maintenance, this kind of fits into that theme, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, good. What do we have here?
So here we have drift roses. They're low maintenance compared to your usual roses. Come into a variety of different colors. So the family wanted some color, some flair, some pop in the landscape. So that's what we have going on here with this beautiful plant.
How much different is this than like a traditional rose?
So it's different with the traditional rose in the sense of it's more disease resistant.
Okay.
So that's why we have these here, because we want to keep in mind, we want to make a landscape that the homeowners are going to enjoy and be able to take care of.
Well, this is going to provide lots of color. Does this bloom year-round, kind of constantly blooming?
It's going to do a lot of its blooming in the spring.
Okay,
yep.
In the spring. Beautiful, beautiful plant. What do we have here?
So here we have a juniper. It's wonderful. If you notice the different hues, it kind of like has a blue hue to it. Beautiful plant, drought resistant. So again, it's going to work great in the landscape.
Serves as that ground cover, real low growing, kind of in the front there. I know that's where Jen has this stuff at the very front of these beds.
Yes, sir.
Looks tough.
It does, doesn't it?
It looks tough, and it looks beautiful. This is really going to pop in the landscape. All of these have just lots of contrast, going to create lots of color. Well, if you don't notice, it's raining right now, and they are waiting on these plants behind us. So let's grab these, get them in the ground, and get this yard flipped here.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Brittany.
With any new landscape, it's important to know when to fertilize. Brittany Council shares a few tips on Florida-friendly landscaping principle number 3, fertilize appropriately.
And what we want to do, since this is going to be a completely new landscape, we definitely don't want to fertilize within the first 30 to 60 days because we don't want to cause any root damage. And with our new plants that we're installing, we're not going to fertilize those immediately. So we want to make sure that the roots get acclimated to the soil and to their new habitat. So we're going to just encourage the homeowners that you only want to fertilize if you need to. And your plants are going to let you know that.
Our sod is in. It's got to get from the truck into the yard, and it has to happen fast. Homeowners are going to be here real soon. While we do that, check out our own Tom Wickman with a little yard maintenance moment. There we go.
Have you ever been to the theme parks and seen those beautiful container gardens that brighten up all the entrances? Well, you can make your own place look like the theme parks by planting your own mixed container gardens. Now, to get started, you want to choose a proper container. And there's so many to choose from these days. We've got ceramic, we've got plastic, we've got clay. What's the one to choose? No matter which container you choose, you want to make sure that it's got proper drainage. So you want to make sure there's a drain hole so that your pot doesn't end up sitting in too much water. When you get to the garden center, there's a nice little formula to help you choose plants. It's called the Thriller, Filler, and Spiller formula. First, we'll choose the Thriller. That Thriller plant is going to be something colorful, maybe with nice blooms or colorful foliage. Second, we'll go ahead and choose that filler plant. And it may be more than one plant. We might have multiple plants that just kind of fill the bulk of the pot. They may or may not have blooms. And then we've got the spiller. That spiller is going to hang over the edge of the pot and complete the container. We want to make sure to get these planted properly. So a lot of people will fill the bottom of the container with gravel or something heavy like that. We're going to use this new spacer, and this spacer will sit in the bottom of the pot and provide a void in the bottom of the container, and we'll use less soil. So it's not going to be quite so heavy for you to drag around the landscape. So you go ahead and use a good well-drained potting media, fill that container, go ahead and position your plants, and then go ahead and fill in the voids around each of those plants with that nice well-drained media. Water and fertilize your plant as needed to keep it healthy throughout the growing season. And if something dies, go ahead and just replace that one plant. You don't have to replace all the plants to keep this container looking good. And maybe you'll bring a little bit of the theme park home to your own landscape.
Now, let's get back to the flip.
Oh man, it's so nice to see this dirt being covered with some nice green grass. I love it. This is what we want people to do more of.
Yeah.
Get outside,
Yeah.
get dirty. This is where the good stuff is, and we're getting plenty of it today.
Yes, it is. And we're going to get it done just in time.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Close enough.
Close enough. Very close.
Considering the Vickers family doesn't have an irrigation system, we're installing Bahia grass, which is a drought-tolerant and disease-resistant ground cover.
All right, it is mulch time here in the landscape, and we're using large chunk pine barks. Great mulch here, sustainable mulch. Look, this is part of that low maintenance landscape. This mulch is gonna cut down on weeds, making this yard for the Vickers a little easier to maintain, less weeds, less management, but we gotta get it in the landscape.
Our irrigation system is on a well. The well dried out, and it really hasn't been running ever since, and it's been a while. Really, we're without one at this point in time.
To help the homeowners establish a new landscape, we're installing a temporary irrigation system. Tom Wickman from the Florida Friendly Landscaping team is here to show us how this all works.
Jen designed a really nice landscape here with drought-tolerant plants. Once they're established, they'll need very little irrigation.
And so this is going to save them a lot of water. And this system is temporary. What does that mean?
Yeah, most plants will get established in 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
And then they'll be able to take these hoses out and just utilize them in other parts of their landscape.
What are the components of this system, Tom?
Well, all we did was get a battery-operated timer so that that timer would run for a certain amount of time. They don't have to worry about shutting it off if it's not convenient. And then we have a splitter, split it off into 4 different hoses in this case. This is just going to be a really easy way for them to get these plants established.
How long will this system be in play here, Tom, before they can kind of start either backing off on it or just pulling it in altogether?
Yeah, probably in that 2 to 3 month range.
2 to 3 month range, okay. And it's going to work for what they need. It's going to save them a lot of money. It's going to save them a lot of water. And for those 2 reasons, this is a good system.
Definitely, and anyone can do this. It's really simple, very easy to set up.
For the next 3 months, this temporary irrigation system will establish the landscape and ultimately save water and money for the Vickers family.
Have we tested it yet?
Let's turn it on.
Yeah, let's turn it on and see what happens. All right, Tom, you got it going. It works.
The good news, the rain has stopped. The bad news, the flip crew has 30 minutes left to finish this yard.
This yard is truly Florida friendly. It's low maintenance, there's no invasives, it looks amazing. They're gonna be really pleased, and we encourage everyone to incorporate the 9 Florida friendly landscaping principles so that way you can have a yard just as immaculate.
After an 8-hour flip, the Vickers' new landscape qualifies as a gold level yard.
This yard is officially flipped.
The last 4 hours have been pretty hectic. We had a lot of rain, but we did it. You know, I have to say at the beginning I was a little cocky. I think if it hadn't rained, it would have gone a lot faster, a lot smoother. It's definitely worth it to see the end, and I can't wait to see the family's reaction.
Hey! The Vickers, how we doing? We've been in your front yard, getting rained on, getting dirty, but we are so proud of what we want to show you guys. We are so excited to give this to you. We got to get you some glasses first. There we go. Yeah, you take those.
Oranges.
There we go. You guys pick those. Mom, those are for you. Everybody got our glasses on.
I think so.
Okay, you guys look ridiculous. And we're going to start slowly walking here.
In this exact moment, I'm really, really nervous, but I'm also really excited.
This is almost like a dream come true. We're so happy and we're so excited to be able to see the final result.
Okay, everybody in position. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Are you ready? Yeah! We are so excited to show you your new Florida-friendly landscape. When I count to 3, you're gonna take off your glasses. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Remove your glasses.
Before, this yard was overgrown and full of invasive plants. 8 hours later, we transformed this front yard into a beautiful, low-maintenance, Florida-friendly landscape. We installed over 200 drought-tolerant plants, installed Bahia sod for a new turf area for the kids to run and play. Pine bark mulch was installed to help save water and prevent weeds. We installed a temporary irrigation system to establish the landscape and save water. A stepstone path leads up to a bench for the family to relax. Additional features include a bat house to manage pests and a compost bin to recycle yard waste. This new Florida-friendly landscape will be a sanctuary for the family to connect and will be a yard the Vickers can once again be proud of.
Johnny, talk to us about the legacy of this home. What does this landscape mean? What does the home mean to you and your family here?
This is the home that I grew up in. I was raised in here. I've known this place my whole life, ups, downs, and just to be able to see it. Oh man, I'm at a loss for words right now. I really am.
That's tough to keep him at a loss for words. But I think this is absolutely amazing. This is beautiful. I'm so happy.
I didn't do this by myself. This incredible crew behind me did this. Let's give it up for this crew over here. An incredible job.
Thank you.
When I took my glasses off for the reveal, I mean, I don't think I could have asked for anything better. It went above and beyond expectation about what was going on. Of course, we didn't know what was about to happen, but if we could have thought about what was going to happen, this would have been it.
I was actually really surprised we didn't see those big, ugly bushes in the front. And I really enjoyed just seeing the flowers in the front yard. Thank you.
This is the house that I grew up in, and with this makeover, oh man, I mean, it reminds me of my youth. You know, now my kids could come out and do the things that I used to do when I was young.
I want to present you guys with this packet of information. It's going to help you really maintain your landscape. You guys got gold level status here for Florida Friendly Landscaping. It's the highest level you can get, so I just want to congratulate you guys.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving us the opportunity to make your dreams come true.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for flipping our Florida yard.
Even the rain couldn't stop the flip crew from transforming the Vickers front yard into a beautiful Florida-friendly landscape. And we wish them much success with their new yard. Well, that's our show. We hope you're inspired to help Florida's environment by starting in your own yard. And remember, everybody doing a little, well, that's a whole lot.
This is the Vickers family update. Y'all see that? I see at least 1 to 2 butterflies a day. Starting to bloom, y'all. Orange is starting to come through. We just want to say thank you and we love you. And this is the Vickers family signing out.
Flip My Florida Yard is brought to you by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Protecting Florida's environment starts with you. What you do in your yard can have an impact on the health of our environment and water resources.